my toy room, and it's basically it's a pretty much a multi-purpose room. Wait a minute, come on, come on. Okay, so my tie-in desk, so I can't see myself, so I'm not sure what, let me see, where am I here?
There we go.
I'm
We
lost.
see a
Oh.
tool caddy. There you go.
Oh, okay. All right. So I got the picture. Yeah. So I have an old, it's a hospital overbed. And, you know, it's the thing that you have in the hospital, and it goes up and down. Oh, come on. So you can set it at, you know, any depth. And so I have my, and when I'm tying, I bring it over to my computer so I can listen to the ball game or listen to music or a talking book or what have you. And I got the very bright LED light here. And you'll see I actually have two vices on here. On one side, I have the Regal vise, which is my favorite. And then on the other side, I have a Griffin rotary vise. So depending on what I'm tying, if I'm tying it rotary, I switch the table around and tie on that one, or size like 20 and 22 hooks. The Regal is really too big for those little hooks. And the key to my organization of tools is one of these Renzetti tool caddies. You know, it's just one of those foam tool caddies that holds a whole bunch of tools. And I got like a half a dozen threads here and some forceps and scissors here, and you know, my different tools and stuff like that. So I made a couple of modifications to that. First thing I did is I took a couple of dowels and I put them in the corner holes, and I cut slots in the top and strung bead chain across the two, so I can hang the flies up. You know, you put your head cement on, and then I hang the fly up so it'll dry. And I found that when I was putting heavy flies on it, those two pieces would start coming towards the middle, and the chain would get very loose, and that presented problems. So then I ended up sticking a piece of piano wire in between there, and that holds everything solid and gives me a second shelf or whatever, a second thing to hang the flies on. Another thing I did was I have my bodkin, and I also have a sewing machine needle. I keep the sewing machine needle because it's much sharper and much thinner than the bodkin. So there's a few times that I use that. But what I did to hold those things is I got some 1/8 inch brass tubing, cut it short, and just jammed it down into the foam here. And that way I can just throw my bodkin in there and it fits there nicely. Before that, I used to just stick it in the foam, and I mean, that works, but this just works a whole lot better. For head cement, I have one of the caps that have a bodkin in it. So I have a dedicated bodkin for my head cement. And a couple of things about the head cement. First of all, when I buy head cement, I don't just buy head cement, I buy the thinner, because it keeps getting thicker and thicker, and you thin it out. And a tip that I got from Hargrove is go ahead and buy the head cement and the thinner at the same time. And then when you get it home, you get a couple of empty bottles and you just mix them up 50-50. So you have 2 bottles of 50-50, and it's a mixture that is nice and thin. Like when you're tying your size 22s and you're putting a dab of head cement on it, you know, you have a very small glob of head cement, and it just soaks in there real easily. So I really like that mixture. And another thing I do with my bottles of head cement, or even your super glue or whatever, I'll take, like, I have dubbing wax here. And I'll take the dubbing wax and I will spread it on the threads around the bottom. And that does two things. First of all, it helps seal the bottle to keep the glue from drying out. And the other thing is it prevents the cap from getting glued onto the bottle. So, it's easy to get the cap off. And
That's
I
a good
was looking
idea.
the other day, I picked up a tube of Burt's Bees, and I'm thinking that's probably even better than using the dubbing wax. But yeah, so that's a
Works
couple of
the same
things
way.
about head cement. One thing about scissors, I always make sure I buy scissors with the thumb hole big enough that it can just hang from my thumb. So when I am tying flies, if all possible, if I'm not using the thick scissors, I just let them hang from my thumb like that. So I'm not constantly putting the scissors down, picking them up, putting them down, picking them up. And that just saves a little time and a little aggravation. And for my bobbins, most of them are the economical type. You see on one side, the base comes over the top. The other side, the base is, the barrel is on top. So what I do is when I hold my bobbin, always put my thumb on that one spot on the top. So I consider that the top. And when I put the thread on, I always thread so the thread is coming off the bottom. And the reason that I do that is when you're tying flies and you find that, I got too much thread out, I need to pull some slack up. I don't have to guess which way to turn the thread. I just take my thumb and I push it forward, and that's going to tighten up the thread. So it's not a big deal, but it's a handy little thing if you do it. As far as storing material, everything I have is, or just about everything I have in these basket drawers. And so, I just have my materials in the drawers. I got tools and spools here, a whole thing of hooks, chenilles and dubbing and rooster capes and saddles and miscellaneous feathers and fur. And so, now Amy shows big pieces of deer hair. If I have a large piece of deer hair, I'll cut a few inches off and I'll put it in here. And then I actually have an overflow bin down in the basement that has mothballs in it. And I store an extra stuff down there. I have my hen capes here and all the popper materials and synthetics and beads and rubber and my rod making tools and stuff like that. So that's just about all my tools and material are stored there. I have a few drawers down here where I have throw glue and stuff like that. But, so it's all pretty compact. And the nice thing about having this table is because it's on wheels, when I'm not using it, I can roll it to the far end of the room. My wife can do her online Zumba in here, or when the grandkids come, I just roll it into the other room and I can throw the air mattress in. And, so that's pretty much my setup.
Hey, Jim, do they let you in Mercy anymore?
What's that?
Do they still let you in Mercy after stealing the bed?
Oh, actually, I got it from Bethesda, right down the street from practically in Amy's backyard, the Bethesda assisted living place. They were doing a remodel job and they were throwing these things out. So I grabbed one and
Good
brought it
idea, Ben.
home.
It's a nice table.
Yeah, I tell you, it's just so handy.
Good idea.
Very nice. All right, Amy has left. She had to go on her other call. So we're just gonna go down the list. Walt, you wanna go?
Sure, okay. Let me try to get on my camera. How do I get back to using that little Zoom camera?
At the very bottom, if you scroll down, you should see where it says stop video and it looks like a little camera.
Yeah,
Hit the little up arrow to the right.
right.
And then you should have like two cameras selected near the top, and you'll have to choose the one that does not have a check mark. And that should change it over to the other camera. There.
How's that? Okay, let me start out with basically I'm in the basement and I set up a small area. I have a captain's pick that I use for storing majority of my hooks and my material is in the different drawers. On the top, I have all my threads, and then in these were cheese containers for Christmas, and I have hooks in one, and that's just an overflow. And then I have another one with instruments on the other side of the table. Side of me, I have my actual time bench. I have all my instruments. One of the things I thought was handy on the whip finish, on the end of it, I put it on a grinder and sharpen the end of it. And that way, when I do a whip finish, I just go up and it slips, cut the line, this thread. See, basically, the major magnifying glass, this is I forgot where I found it, but it works fine. It's excellent. It's got the light magnification. All the immediate stuff that I need right offhand is here on the table. My trash can that I think is extremely handy is a 5-liter German beer can.
Yes.
And it just sits on a little table and it's great for throwing junk.
Hard part's when it gets full, you got to drink another one of those. So you got another
I
can.
have one if you guys want to come over, get a trash can, we could empty it. And then on the table, I also have a little badge that I use if I do not finish a feather. I still have some stuff that's left over. I'll put it up here. And then I have all my reading material, a bookshelf for all my reading material. My carvings that I do and I'm probably going to start carving more fish. Maybe we'll put it up for the auction or something. And I guess that's basically it.
Very nice, Walt.
That's it.
All right.
Well,
Roger,
one
you
more
want to
thing
go?
real quick.
Oh, okay.
You guys were, and I don't know, once I get back out of here, but I used a block that, like you mentioned the other day, a piece of walnut for my carvings. And so I put my camera on it when we have a tying section or something that you can see. And it really works good. Was anybody interested in the camera? Or acquired? if you then, please give me a call and I'll forward the information on it.
Interested in what?
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Think his camera?
this camera that, and it's a manual focus, so it doesn't zoom in and out. It's really quite a nice camera. Let me see, what do I gotta do? Okay, here's the camera, the setup that we use.
Oh, very nice.
So just set it, I already have it pre-measured on the bar, which is just on the other side of the refrigerator. And so I just lay it down and I know my distance to tie. And like I said before, Bill Kelly and Don and some of the guys, they come over and we have the old kitchen table down here. And we all sit around and tie and have a good time together. So if you guys ever want to get away and tie some flies and go out to the springs from here, because Merrimack Springs only made me an hour from my house. That's it.
All right, very nice, Walt.
Okay.
All right, Roger, you're up.
All righty. I'll preface this with, I've got another project tearing apart some furniture and other things, so there's a lot of stuff going on in this room, but. Okay, my basic sewing area is just on a table down here. Some of you probably seen these little wooden boxes and trays made for holding all your equipment. Sometimes you use it when I go camping. Sometimes I'll take it there. It helps contain stuff a little bit better from rolling around in the camper, or if you drop something while you're tying, hopefully it falls inside the box instead of across the camper floor or even in the basement floor to where you can't find it. But often as not, I'll just pull one of my vices out onto the tabletop here. I got a couple different vices and I don't have that much stuff. So most of my storage, I just feathers in one bag. You know, I got hooks all clipped together, all my beads just on a ring, kind of by size and stuff. Usually I'll have my tools in the tray, and just as I pull them out and use them, then I'll start sticking them in the holes in the wooden tray to keep track of it. I find medicine bottles handy sometimes for keeping track of stuff, or for like putting my razor blade in so I don't find it otherwise, that I use for trimming. Simple trays for chenilles. The bag there I use frequently when we were going to the veterans home to show tying and stuff there. That was my kind of carry bag for taking stuff. Otherwise, my materials usually over in this just little plastic drawer set. When I want to clear off the table and stow everything away, that little wooden tying tray or whatever will sit just right on the top of that. And then otherwise, I just keep all the pins I've been tying in the sort there. And that's pretty much the whole area. I don't really use that magnifier that much. If I really get to tie in small stuff, frequently I'll go get my headband magnifiers and wear those rather than work around this one. But sometimes I do use it. So it's a pretty compact area. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space, but I don't have that many materials yet.
Looks nice.
Looks good.
So organization can be pretty simple, just a bunch of Ziploc bags to fur in one, feather in another, you know, that sort of thing. Questions?
Looks good.
And the rest of the mess, like I said, tearing
What if-
things apart in the other part of the room. So
What's a preference for tying lights that people have? I heard Jimmy say something about one and somebody else said something about them, but they didn't elaborate or show them.
Yeah,
That's
the one
what
that
I
we have,
was,
Well, down here, I'm fortunate. When I built the basement, I've got fluorescence across the whole thing. So I have ample light as is. I don't really need to add stuff on mine. So it's a good way, just like any shop, if you can, something like those is for broad light works really well.
What I have is a pull down light that I can adjust any way I want it. Just a desk light.
Yeah, mine's just a desk light, and I got it off of Amazon, I'm sure. So it reaches over, and it's an LED, and it's very bright. So, and I'm cheap, so it couldn't have cost too much.
Yeah, here's what I use for mine. I got this little guy right here.
Yeah,
That's hooked onto the vise, and then I just hooked this one right here. And that's hooked onto this little mounting table that I've got. And I got this big one here, which is a magnifier that I just use. And then
All right, John.
I'm in the process of rebuilding my shop, so I'm redoing all the lights, and this is what I'm going with right here. I don't know if you can see that or not.
The LED
That's a
strips.
strip of LEDs, yeah, so. Yeah, lighting, as I get older, I find I need better and better lighting.
with you guys
Amen to that.
before, I have a magnifying with, I guess, a fluorescent light in it. And
Light.
that way, I use this, this hooks onto my vise, and it gives me all the light pretty much I need.
Very cool.
So this I acquired this at the Atlanta Fly Fishing Expo. But I think you can go online and, well, not online, but I think other crafts had these in their books for like $25 someplace, something like that. No, it was Cabela's had them for like $20.
Nice.
So they just hook right. Nice. Looks fine. Good. All right, that's it. I'm not saying anything else. I'm going to drink up here.
All right, John, you started, so
Gotta empty that trash can, huh?
No, I'm not gonna. That's for you guys to come over.
all right, John, if you want to continue.
There we go, microphone's back on. Let me change cameras here real quick.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the basement, and I don't tie that much. In fact, let me just open this for you real quick. This is probably all I'll tie all year long. Right there, because I don't use many flies anymore. I just use maybe 1 or 2 flies when I go out fishing now. So that's all I carry with me. So let me back up. Yeah, there you go. The bench itself is just an old sewing machine bench. And it's got drawers there. I put my threads all over here. And I just attached a piece of wood to the bench with a clamp. And that's where I mount my vise and my lights and everything. Storage space above. And for me, I've been looking for years and years trying to figure out how to make everything work. And this is my storage right here. And what I do is these are all marked. I got chenille, floss, fur, dubbing, et cetera, so I can just turn around and get what I need out of it. But for me, since I don't tie that much, and I don't tie that many flies, and I don't use that many flies, when I go to Colorado, I got a good friend of mine that's a fly tyer, and he gives me everything I need. And it's down in 20s and 22s, beyond my capability anymore. So, like I say, I mainly tie in the 12, 14, 16, and 18s. And about the only flies I tie are Tenkara flies, about 3 different types of Tenkara, and Copper Johns. And once in a while, a Prince Minch. And then a bunch of other little, what I call junk flies, terrestrials. So that's it. I keep it as simple as I can and keep it as close as I can, because this is also my shop that I do all my electronics in. So it's a multifunction place like a lot of you do. So that's it.
Very nice.
Good.
Hey, Carl, you ready?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We could hear.
No,
All right, let me turn my camera, switch the camera here.
Didn't look like Carl at all.
There, how's that? Is that better?
Nice.
All right. Well, I'm in the basement too. This is where I tell my wife I do my man art. So and I picked that up from one of my friends down in Alabama. He called it, this was his idea of man art. So
Nice.
you can see that.
Nice.
that's cool.
So that's Alex. He's the one that kind of got involved with healing waters when I was in Alabama down there. So basically I'm in the basement. It's kind of a conglomerate of a lot of different things. This is mainly my work area. It's just an old kitchen table and just kind of thrown stuff. We bought this house. It's unfinished. So I just kind of put stuff wherever I feel like putting it, you know, little Christmas tree lights from my daughter. And like, I don't know if you can see that, my son's first fish that he caught right there. So he was 8. He caught it on a little Prince nymph at Montauk. So just some,
Does it light up?
huh?
Does that fish you showed light up?
Yeah. Those are that my daughter got me those for Christmas. So then I just, anything that I have that has to do with a fish or whatever gets kind of hung up everywhere. I don't know if you can see that that trout up there, stained glass, can't see it very good with the light.
Oh, that's cool.
My mom gave me that when I saw it at an art show. She was selling some of her crafts at, and I got it for Christmas one year. Managed to hold on to it and move 14 times and not break it. So I'm pretty proud of that. So anyway, this is kind of where I do when I build rods, I do it, and I keep everything and just like everybody else in containers. And if I'm done or need to put them in there, I just fold them up and put them up underneath my table here. I don't really have anything fancy. I inherited one of my daughter's craft things here. It's got little wheels. I can move it around, and I keep all my feathers and stuff on here, and thread, conglomerate of hooks. I don't do anything fancy with my hooks. I just throw them in the corner because I know if they're over there, I won't knock them off anywhere. So, and then my daughter, something my daughter made this year for Christmas. She's pretty crafty, kind of impressed the heck out of me. She made these rod holders for me to put on my car. She found it, she looked it up on YouTube. If I can get a better picture of it. So
Yes, they're magnetic, right?
No,
No.
you
Suction cup.
just seal them down on the truck or a car. These are like a glass holder, and she got PVC pipe. She found out how to do it online. So
Yeah, it's a suction cup to move glass.
yeah.
Nice.
I used to be a glazer. That's why I know that.
Oh yeah, they work pretty well. Something I made I got tired of when I build rods. Sometimes they come with socks and sometimes they don't. So I made these this weekend. I had to get caught up by my son and daughter. I gave them rods and my future son-in-law a couple years ago. I built rods for them all, and some of them were made in the tubes I made them. I usually just use PVC pipe because I'm too cheap to go buy an expensive one. I just cut a piece of PVC pipe 2 1/4 inch and get the caps on it, and I just put them away right there. And so I was tired of wrapping in bubble wrap all the time. So I made 4 of these this weekend. So
Very nice.
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 they were online for, I don't know, $15 to $19, depending on when you look. And I went to the store and bought $18 worth of stuff and made 4 of them. So, but I just keep my hackles and just different boxes, pull out what I need when I need it. So that's basically it. I got a Renzeni vise, and that's basically it. A lot of things, a lot of people have too. So,
Very cool.
so pretty much it.
All right, Terry, you want?
No.
No.
But mine looks like something after a tornado and a monsoon, and all 3 of them together hit it.
Mhm.
All right.
Terry, I was in Vietnam in Asia, so I know what typhoons were. Well, being in Missouri, that's fine. So let's see your stuff.
Okay. Not tonight.
All right. We still have, I think, 2 more. So I'm going to leave Les for last because I like how he's got some storage. So Chris, you want to go?
Sure. I got my phone on here, so I'm gonna figure out how to turn it around. So mine is a desk. Me and my wife. Whoa, just made myself really dizzy. Me and my wife actually built this desk. It's pretty cool. Got a computer on it, and I got some cabinets right here with.
I think you got to change your camera over.
Is that better?
We're just seeing windows.
There's no windows.
Maybe looking at the wrong thing.
Camera.
He was
Yeah,
coming
we see
through
your
good.
chest. We don't see
Yeah,
your
I saw
phone.
'em.
Oh,
Yeah, I see
I'm
everything
holding
fine.
my phone in my hand.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
see everything. I see
Yeah.
everything fine too.
Me too.
Yeah. I built this desk with a bunch of shelves, and I got all my
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, one of them's the computer, and
Yeah.
my camera can't move around, so
Gotcha.
I got on my phone. So I got some bins up here that's got dubbing and flash and fur and stuff, and I got some more bins down here. This is pretty much just where I guess you could say the magic happens.
Really nice area.
Thank
I
you.
like that a lot, Chris. I like the table.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I got a couple bins up here. I got a little bit of storage. My wife got those for me. And then I started using the little medicine things. I got a bunch of flies and stuff in them. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Love the desk, Chris. That's beautiful work. Did
Thank
you
you.
make that?
Yeah, me and my wife did. I got little
Beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
one side of it's like the pegboard stuff, so I cut a little bunch of dowel rods and to put my threads on, and then this side over here is stainless steel, so it's like magnetic. I can put magnets and stuff on there. I got my good old Marine Corps magnet up there, and yeah, pretty cool.
Very
It
nice.
is nice, Chris.
Very
Very
nice.
nice.
And it's in my basement too, so I'm down in the basement as well.
Very nice.
Alrighty.
Les,
All right, I'm
you
gonna
wanna
log
go?
off with my phone.
Les, do you want to go?
Yeah, sure.
So I like how you have the pegboards on the ceiling that come down.
All right. So down in the basement, this room I have used is actually my office for work too, and my armory and junk location. But this is my corner.
He muted?
Am I?
No, I'm
hear
hearing you.
I hear you.
I can't hear.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
You said it was
Basically, the-
your armory? Do you have any dynamite? I'm running short.
I play the fifth on that one. But the top of the desk is basically a piece of countertop like kitchen countertop. Built a couple cabinets. It's got storage. Pegboard has all the materials that I typically use. All separated out. Project Healing Waters.
How did you get that poster?
I hunted it down.
If anyone can find one, please let me know.
I got that probably 10 years ago. Also, typical storage bins for different materials. There's my fly swim tester that I have. I use a Dynaking Barracuda because I mainly tie streamers and articulated stuff. So anything larger than a size 4, pretty much. Here's some little, I guess, craft stuff that I use for all my hooks.
Looks like boxes, yeah.
Yeah, it's like bead holders or something. But they basically all lock up in there, and I've got them separated. Because when I buy hooks, I buy at least 100 at a time. So, because most of mine are like Gamakatsu and stuff like that. So I buy straight from them, and you can get 100 packs for a lot cheaper than just getting, like a 10 pack at one of the shops or online. Got a couple lights because I also use this for building, fly rods too. So got a light with the magnifier here. Then that light's this light right here is an LED light that you can actually change the brightness of it. Folds all the way completely up. Another storage thing I use, because I use a lot of like 3D beads, glass beads. This is actually a bead holder, and they little compartments, and that way when I go somewhere I can just take that whole thing and I have all my beads or whatever else I put in here. Another one, this is a I guess it's a sewing thread spool holder. Both sides. I've got 2 of these. I ended up getting a wholesale listing on eBay that had, I don't know, probably like 300 spools of thread, tinsel, a whole ton of stuff for like $100 or something. So I've got more than I could ever use probably. And then I know I'm down in the basement, so I also have more storage. So what I did, because I do a lot of work with deer hair, so this is hinged on my floor joists, and basically, oops, sorry, wow. Okay, sorry. So now I fold it down, hangs there, and that's all my deer hair and stuff like that. So when I'm using that, I put it down, and when I'm not using it, I just hook it back up on the floor joist. It's in the ceiling.
That's cool.
That's
But-
awesome.
Yeah, that's a nice setup.
But other than that, that's it.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Les,
real nice.
would you mind expounding on that little device that you had for testing your flies? What exactly is that?
Yeah. So basically it's from, what is it? Fly Fisherman. I think that's the company. Fly Fisherman. I I can send it out, but basically it's got a little aquarium motor, air pump in it, and for streamers you got this tube. I've got it out right now, but it sits in here inside, and the flow creates and goes through the tube, so it flies in the tube, and you can see it swimming and how the motions are when you would be stripping it back. And you just tie it. There's a hook in here that you run it through basically the line that you're going to tie it onto, and then you hook them in here. That holds it in there, and you just turn it on, and when you got to fly in there, you can see how it actually swims, especially with like articulated flies. You want to see how that tail hook is actually moving, how the head dips up and down. But you can also do like top water and other flies as well, see how they're floating and stuff like that.
Wow, that's very cool. Is that pump variable at all, or is it just a single speed?
No, this one's just a single speed.
Yeah, that's a neat setup. I've never seen one of those before. I like that.
Is there any way you could set that up one evening and give us a demonstration on it?
Yeah, I had it, I don't know, probably my first, what was it? My first time I did a fly, I had one swimming in there. But yeah, I can get it set back up and show it one Monday night.
Yeah, I'd love to see that too.
Me too.
I know Amy kind of gave me the duty of trying to figure out what we're going to talk about next week. I was thinking about either discussing different fishing locations or talking about different gadgets, DIY tools that we did and would share. So maybe we'll do that for next Monday. We could go around the room like we did tonight. Les could show us the streamer tank. And, you know, we saw a couple of neat ideas already with the beer can and neat ideas with kind of sharpening a whip finisher to use it to kind of thread. So I know we have a bunch of DIY neat ideas. So let's do that for next Monday and come up with, you know, we just could go around the room again. If you have something, you know, just let us know and you'll have the camera for a few minutes and come up with something neat. Sound like a good plan?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So
Also share those things
help
we
me out.
come up with that don't work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, things that.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
Okay. Hopefully this helped you, Kat. I know you wanted to see different setups and
No, I took some notes, so
good. There you go.
just some different things that I really liked from everybody that I got to see. I always hop on late because I have yoga with the VA from 5 to 6, and then I gotta tear that setup down and set this setup back out. So that's why I'm always a little bit late coming in.
That's fine.
Hey, Kat.
So,
Yep.
My wife and I teach yoga in Lincoln Place Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 10 and 15,
Oh, really?
Granite City Park District
Where at?
at Lincoln Place Community Center on Niedringhouse. 3 blocks off of Highway 3.
You said that's Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays?
Yeah, at 10:15. It's $5. Or buy a card at the Park District office. For $50, you get 2 free ones.
I'll look into it. Thanks.
Welcome. And you guys are welcome to come too.
Gary and I just happen to be in the same town, so.
That's all right. They can come. They
Yeah,
just have to leave a
You know,
little.
it really looks good. Your figure has definitely changed.
All right. Hey, I need to jump. Everybody have a good week.
Yep. We'll let
Yep.
everyone go. So
Thanks,
next week,
everybody. See you next
bring
week.
your DIY tools and neat ideas.
Okay.
All right,
Good.
thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good to see you, everybody.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
have a good
everybody
night.
take care.
Guys,
Well,
You want to go?
All right, bye,
Lake
guys.
Springs.
See you guys.
Give me a call if you guys want to go.
Will do.
Okay.